Morning, this is the Castle Creek Wilderness area, and I'm going to take a break here to revisit an anime. Flag. Flag is a new war anime from Bandai. I recorded my enthusiastic first impressions of it back when the first DVD was released. Now that the fourth and final DVD has finally been released in North America to complete the series, I wanted to revisit it and compare it to my expectations. Flag is a 13-part anime series created by director Ryoki Takahashi, who's perhaps best known for his earlier work on Armored Trooper Votoms. Flag uses a unique storytelling style, watching everything through a photographer's viewfinder, and that makes it interesting in its own right. The plot involves a civil war in a fictitious Central Asian country called Udayama. The central character is a young news photographer, Saiko Shirasu. By a combination of luck and skill, she captures a picture during the UN liberation of the capital city with a makeshift national flag being raised and catching the sun in silhouette just right. The photo becomes the iconic public relations symbol of the peace process the UN is trying to manage.
And that is how the flag came to be.
That single photograph will give Shirasu a fame as a photographer far beyond her young years. The story is narrated by Keiichi Akagi, Saiko's mentor and a veteran fellow news photographer. The story is told almost entirely through the lenses of either Shirasu's or Akagi's many cameras. Because of that, we don't actually get to see them on camera very often. Saiko shows up mostly as a disembodied off-screen voice recorded on one of her videos, or occasionally as a reflection caught in one of her own photographs. Occasionally, the photography is supplemented by activity on Shirasu's computer screen or the monitors of the military. Much to the UN's embarrassment, the emblematic flag they're so proud of is stolen right from under their noses. So they create a small elite force from the UNF called the SDC, pronounced CDAC. Its mission is to find and retrieve the original flag. Because of Shirasu's close association with the flag through that famous photograph, they invite her to join CDAC as an embedded photojournalist. And of course she agrees. Yeah, one could quibble that the UN's overvaluing a single piece of cloth, whatever its newfound symbolic value. It's going to be the MacGuffin nonetheless. From here, the story follows two parallel courses. On one hand, Shirasu covers the activities at an isolated frontline base where CDAC has set up operations. There, she meets the men and women of that team, including their commanding officer, Lieutenant Eversole, and the other support personnel on the base. She and we will get to know a lot of these people as the story unfolds. CDAC also has use of a new weapon, the Havoc, a new mobile armor. Shirasu will be the first journalist to learn of its existence.
Load charge, set at 7. Damper maximum, plus 20. We're okay. Roger. Hey there, you okay?
Are you all right? Are you hurt?
I'm okay.
Meanwhile, back in Udayama's capital, Akagi covers the UN press conferences and the politics of the peace process, as well as the occasional insurgent hit-and-run attack and the UNF inevitable retaliatory precision bombing attacks into the city. He'll also seek to interview local politicians and the heads of the country's two major religions. RuPaul is head of the Galut sect, and the Kufra is the living goddess to her followers. Both of these religious leaders are considered keys to the peace process. We'll get to know some of Akagi's fellow reporters, informants, and other interviewees in this story arc.
My camera was drawn to this goddess who was RuPaul's counterpart. Then my camera introduced me to an unexpected person.
The intercuts between Akagi and Shirasu's story become more frequent as the story goes on, and the plots converge towards a resolution. After a while, you can tell which story you're watching just by recognizing the camera on screen displays. Some may find the start of this story a little slow. The first DVD is entirely devoted to introducing the characters and setting up the main CDAC combat mission before the first action really occurs. I think the characters are well worth this attention. Things pick up steam towards the conclusion.
Target confirmed ahead. Radar detected. Shirasu!
Flag tells a serious story about adults, war, politics, life and death. I found it to be a very compelling piece of storytelling, building tension as it headed towards its conclusion with ever-increasing foreboding. It's surprising how much we can learn about characters at holding the camera, despite how little we actually see them. Shirasu is the star of the video, and we learn an awful lot about her through her subjects. The music by Yosuhiro Ike works very well in Flag and creates a foreign Middle Eastern mood that can be either peaceful, intriguing, or exciting, and it complements the storytelling of Flag perfectly. I don't think I'd care to see many other anime shot in this first-person through-the-lens style, but I thought it worked pretty well in this short series. Bandai's English dub worked out pretty well too. Akagi's voice is the key, and it came out pretty well. I give Flag 4.5 stars. It's a really good story, well told, with nice characters and a serious purpose. The DVDs have few extras beyond the clean opening and ending. Thanks for listening.